Hi, my name is Ajay. I live in Barnet and I've recently had my house renovated, completely renovated by Igor and his team at Combit. The reason why I chose Igor and how I first came across him, I saw his work on another project that I was living nearby over several months, and I saw that the work that he was doing was very tidy and very well done. So I got in touch with Igor when I needed some work doing at my house, and it was a full renovation, tearing down the previous conservatory, refitting kitchen, bathroom, electrics, and doing some pretty significant landscaping work in the garden. My first impression of Igor when he came round was his attention to detail. I'd obviously got some quotes from other builders. The other builders were here for maybe 15-20 minutes, gave me a very high level overview of what the type of work they would be doing and how much it would cost, pretty much on the spot. Whereas Igor took a very, very different approach. He was here for about an hour and a half, measuring everything in detail, looking at all of the aspects of the build in detail, and then followed up about a week later with a very, very detailed specification, giving me all of the information about the different type of work and what the cost would be with each of those bits of work. So that gave me a lot of confidence that Igor was someone who was close to the detail and, most importantly in the industry, honest and would stick to his word. So I went ahead with Igor. He gave me a very detailed work plan of 6 months for the whole project. So Igor and his guys started work in October with a 6-month schedule. And during that time, the communication was always very clear. Igor was constantly on the phone to me, checking details, making sure everything was right. And we discussed all of the options if we ran into any issues. We agreed to meet once per week when we ran through everything in detail, and Igor was always close to the detail with his guys, so that we could make things as efficient as possible. Then during February, which was the wettest February ever recorded, it was in the middle of a huge amount of landscaping, moving in the end sort of 20-25 skips of soil through the house. And then COVID hit, but even so, Igor and his team continued to work through some pretty terrible conditions and through the restrictions on COVID to eventually finish just 1 month over the initial 6-month schedule. The finish is exceptional. I've had a lot of people round to my house and everyone has commented that the standard of work and the quality of the work has been very, very high. And even the fittings and so on, which again came from Igor's recommendation, which came with a slight discount as well. So he didn't just think about the build on the day, he thought about the long-term livability of the house, making sure everything was structurally sound, but also fittings of high quality, and recommending me good suppliers. So overall, I couldn't recommend Igor highly enough. You know, his guys have been back a couple of times after the project finished to tie up a few small bits of work with no hesitation whatsoever. And I'll be very happy to use Igor again in the future and recommend him to his future clients.